realized that if the weight it had to bear grew too great, there was no avoiding collapse. So the work faltered. But then the designers discovered that a pagoda added extra support to the grotto ceiling. If the dome ceiling proved unable to bear the weight above, the pagoda could take some of it off. Since it functioned like a pillar, it became known as a pagoda pillar. The dome ceiling would disperse some of the weight and would then convey the excess down to the ground through the pagoda. Thus, it would receive protection from various sources. Tan Yao and his successors, in the course of their work and research, built up a wealth of experience. The dome ceiling and pagoda pillars, since they guaranteed a safe environment inside the grottos, offered a freer platform for the designers to give full rein to their creative imagination. Moreover, Tan Yao's ambitions grew larger. He was convinced that he now had the conditions for creating a statue of the Buddha in an unprecedented scale. So, he commissioned a giant standing statue of the Buddha in Grotto number 19. At 16.8 meters tall, it would be the biggest statue of its day. However, only a few years later, an even bigger statue would be created by Tan Yao's successor at the Yungang Gottoes in Grotto number 5. Visitors, having passed through the 20-meter-tall, 4-story wooden structure outside the grotto and then the antechamber, reach the back chamber. Once their eyes have grown accustomed to the dark, they see an imposing statue of the Buddha, which dominates the entire grotto. At more than 17 meters tall, it is the biggest statue at the Yungang Gottoes. On each side of the main statue, 2 smaller ones with smiling faces stand beneath sacred fig trees. The scale of the main statue, sitting cross-legged, is enhanced by the 2 smaller ones. Its face has tapering eyebrows, a prominent nose, and a kindly countenance. Each of the statue's fingers is over 2 meters long. Its gigantic feet provide standing room for 11 people. A single knee can hold 120 people. The Yuan dynasty poet Wang Du described the statue as reaching as high as the sky, surveying everything below in the world. Designers, in achieving such a remarkable visual impact, undoubtedly had to tackle some major engineering challenges. To ensure the giant statue's stability, the designers made it seated on crossed legs and forged two huge knees 14.3 meters away from each other. Thus, the statue forms a triangle. The legs are the base, so the wider the knees are apart, the greater the stability. The triangular structure is the key that keeps the main body erect. The same principle was applied in all the large statues in the Yungang Grottoes, with one exception. In grotto number 13, there's a statue of the Buddha with his feet crossed. His left hand rests on his knee and his right hand is raised up into the air. Both hands are thick and broad. Chinese tradition dictates that thick hands imply kindness and good fortune. With his gaze fixed directly ahead, the statue has an air of solemnity. The statue is surrounded by numerous niches, housing small statues that appear to be listening to the Buddha preaching. Between one hand of the large statue and its knee, there stands a small guard dressed in a collared ribbon and a pleated skirt. The dust-covered ribbon lies across the guard's breast, revealing some glimpses of fresh green. Even the pleats in the skirt can be perceived with careful observation. In reality, the guard plays a vital role. It bears the weight of the great arm. The guard itself has 4 arms. 2 of them support the large arm, and the other 2 remain beside it. Judging by the density of the rock, we can say that the great arm weighs about 400 kilos. But a 2-meter length is suspended in the air, threatening to fall down at any moment. To prevent such a disaster, the guard was added while the original work on the statue was being carried out. But can it really carry the weight of a 400-kilogram arm? If you look carefully, you'll see that the great Buddha's arms and legs are crossed a little, thus forming a stable triangle with the guard. The weight of the great arm, which would otherwise have rested wholly on the guard, is thus partially shifted to the leg. while the rest is conveyed down to the guard. Moreover, the guard isn't standing vertically to the knee, but is resting on the slant of its pleated skirt, a position that reduces the gravitational effect on it. So, the guard deflects the force acting on it away and receives slanted support from the knee. As for the guard's own weight, 3 balanced forces are acting upon it, and instead of actually bearing this burden, it redistributes it. Without the guard, the imbalance of forces would undoubtedly have caused devastating problems. So once again, the designers of the Yungang Gottoes exercised their talent. The perfectly appointed guard not only serves a mechanical purpose, but also becomes an object of aesthetic appreciation. Over 1,500 years have passed. The designers and craftsmen, including Tang Yao, are long gone. But thanks to their devotion to the great statues and their ingenuity in bridging weight and grace, they will never be forgotten. The Yungang Grottoes brought about the first flowering of Buddhist grotto art in China. Subsequently, many other designers and craftsmen were inspired to give free rein to their imagination, and they produced numerous miracles, including the Magao Grottoes, Longmen Grottoes, and Meijishan Grottoes.